My personal relationship with God came when I was much older, like in my early 20s. No one telling me what to do or anything like that. I just wanted to seek Christ for myself.
What does it take to go from a young girl with a dream to one of Hollywood's most inspiring rising stars? Today, we dive into the incredible journey of Letitia Wright, the powerhouse actress who stole hearts as Shuri in Marvel's Black Panther, but whose story goes far beyond Wakanda. Letitia didn't follow the traditional path to fame. Nope, she faced rejection, uncertainty, and even stepped away from acting entirely at one point. But here's the twist. That pause became her greatest breakthrough. With raw talent, deep faith, and unstoppable determination, she went from small British TV roles to commanding global attention in blockbuster hits like Black Panther and Avengers: Endgame. But what really makes her stand out? It's not just her acting, it's her authenticity, her resilience, and her refusal to conform to Hollywood norms. In this video, we'll uncover everything you need to know about Letitia, so buckle up and let's get into it. Letitia's story began far from Hollywood, in Georgetown, Guyana, where she was born on October 31st, 1993. Surrounded by a rich blend of Caribbean culture, community, and family, her earliest years were shaped by warmth, rhythm, and heritage. Guyana was not just a birthplace, it was a foundation, one she would carry with her long after she left. When Letitia was 7 to 8 years old, her family made a life-changing decision to migrate to London, England, in search of greater opportunity. In interviews, Letitia has recalled how leaving Guyana felt like stepping away from something deeply familiar and comforting, replacing it with the uncertainty of a new world that moved faster and spoke louder. London, particularly Tottenham in North London, became her new home. It was a vibrant but challenging environment, diverse, energetic, and at times unforgiving. As a young black immigrant girl, Letitia struggled to find her voice. She has described herself as shy, introverted, and observant, often watching the world rather than stepping into it. School was not always easy. She attended Northumberland Park Community School, where she navigated identity, confidence, and the pressure of fitting in. But even in her quietness, creativity was forming. Letitia found escape in stories, films, books, and performances, worlds where emotion could be safely expressed. Everything changed when she saw the 2006 film Aquila and the Bee. Watching Keke Palmer on screen didn't just entertain her, it awakened something. For the first time, Letitia saw herself reflected in a protagonist. She later said the performance resonated deeply and planted the idea that acting could be a real path, not just a dream. As a teenager, she began to act on that instinct. Without connections or privilege, Letitia showed remarkable determination, emailing agents and seeking opportunities with little more than belief and persistence. Eventually, her talent led her to the Identity School of Acting in London, a part-time drama school known for nurturing young, diverse talent. There, she began to transform her shyness into power, learning how to channel emotion, vulnerability, and truth into performance. After training at London's Identity School of Acting, Letitia entered the industry through small but meaningful roles, making early appearances on British television series such as Holby City and Top Boy in 2011. These roles didn't bring instant fame, but they introduced casting directors to something rare, a young actress with emotional depth, restraint, and an unmistakable screen presence. Her first feature film role came in 2012 with My Brother, the Devil, a gritty British drama that earned her early critical attention and recognition as one of Screen International's Stars of Tomorrow. Still, success was far from guaranteed. In the years that followed, Letitia worked steadily across television, appearing in projects like Chasing Shadows, Humans, and Doctor Who, building a resume rooted in range rather than hype. In 2015, her career shifted direction with Urban Hymn, where she played a troubled teenager navigating faith, trauma, and redemption. The performance was raw and transformative, earning her industry respect and landing her among BAFTA's Breakthrough Brits, a recognition reserved for emerging talents poised to redefine the future of British cinema. Yet, even as opportunities grew, Letitia faced profound internal challenges. She later revealed that during this period, she struggled with depression and considered stepping away from acting entirely. Taking time off, she reassessed her purpose and returned to the profession with a renewed sense of grounding and intention, one that would soon define the next phase of her career. Everything changed in 2017 with her standout performance in the Black Mirror episode Black Museum. Her portrayal was chilling, controlled, and emotionally devastating, earning her a Primetime Emmy nomination and catching the attention of Hollywood filmmakers watching closely from across the Atlantic. The following year, Letitia Wright stepped into the role that would transform her career forever. Shuri, the brilliant, fearless scientist princess of Wakanda in Marvel Studios' Black Panther. Released in 2018, the film became a cultural phenomenon, breaking box office records and reshaping how Black excellence was portrayed on screen. As Shuri, Letitia brought humor, intelligence, vulnerability, and realism to a role that resonated globally, particularly with young audiences seeing themselves represented as innovators and leaders for the first time. Her performance earned her NAACP Image Awards, a Screen Actors Guild Award, and international recognition almost overnight. She reprised the role in Avengers: Infinity War and Avengers: Endgame, solidifying her place within one of the most successful franchises in cinema history. Despite global fame, Letitia resisted being confined to blockbuster roles. She continued choosing projects with emotional weight and cultural purpose, appearing in Steve McQueen's acclaimed anthology Small Axe in 2020, a series exploring Black British identity, history, and resistance. The choice reaffirmed her commitment to storytelling that challenges rather than merely entertains. In 2022, Letitia returned to Wakanda in Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, carrying new narrative responsibility following the passing of Chadwick Boseman. Her performance reflected grief, strength, and evolution, mirroring both her character's journey and her own maturity as an actress stepping into leadership. Today, Letitia Wright stands as one of the most influential actresses of her generation, an artist whose professional life is defined not by speed, but by intention. From British television sets to the global stage, she did not simply rise. She built herself, role by role. Her career is proof that longevity begins with integrity, and that brilliance, when protected and nurtured, speaks louder than fame ever could. When people search for Letitia Wright, they're usually looking for a number, but numbers alone don't explain how her wealth was built, or why her financial story is unlike most Hollywood success narratives. As of early 2026, most credible industry estimates place Letitia Wright's net worth between $4 million and $6 million, with some outlets listing figures as high as $10 million based on projected earnings and asset growth. The most consistently cited figure across conservative and reputable sources remains around $5 million. Her financial foundation was laid in British television and indie cinema, where pay is modest and visibility is earned rather than bought. The turning point came with Marvel Studios. When Letitia Wright was cast as Shuri in Black Panther, 2018, she entered one of the most lucrative film franchises in history. However, like most first-time Marvel actors, her initial salary was reportedly far below the franchise's top earners, likely in the mid-six-figure range for the first film. Industry analyses suggest her pay rose significantly with Avengers: Infinity War, Avengers: Endgame, and especially Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, where her role expanded both narratively and commercially, placing her earnings closer to $1 million or more for later installments. These Marvel films alone account for the largest share of her wealth, but they are not the whole story. Letitia has deliberately balanced blockbusters with prestige projects such as Black Mirror, Small Axe, Death on the Nile, and The Silent Twins. These roles offer smaller paychecks but significantly increase long-term career leverage, something that affects future earnings far beyond a single film contract. In addition to acting, she has quietly expanded her financial footprint through select endorsements, public appearances, and early creative ventures, including production interests. She is known for avoiding overexposure and mass branding, which limits short-term income but protects long-term value. As a result, her earnings have grown steadily rather than explosively. Real estate also plays a role. Reports indicate she owns property in London, a market known for long-term value appreciation, which contributes to her net worth in assets rather than cash flow alone. She is not the loudest earner in Hollywood, but she is among the most strategically positioned. Her financial growth mirrors her career choices: selective, values-driven, and focused on longevity. Why don't we get a wider scope of her real estate portfolio and then her car collection? While headline culture often defines success by sprawling mansions and public tours, Letitia Wright's approach to home ownership reflects the same restraint and intention that has shaped her career. Her homes are not monuments to wealth. They are spaces of grounding, reflection, and return. As of the mid-2020s, Letitia Wright is known to maintain her primary residence in London, the city that raised her and continues to anchor her identity. Despite her global career and frequent work in the United States, she has consistently expressed a deep emotional attachment to London, particularly North London. Unlike many actors who relocate permanently to Los Angeles, Letitia has intentionally resisted uprooting herself from the UK. Interviews and public appearances repeatedly affirm that London offers her balance, familiarity, anonymity, and distance from the relentless pace of Hollywood visibility. Her residence there is widely believed to be a high-value private home or apartment, but specific details, location, size, purchase price, have not been publicly disclosed, a choice that aligns with her long-standing preference for personal boundaries. That restraint is the story. Industry reporting and lifestyle profiles consistently note that Letitia Wright does not flaunt real estate acquisitions. Instead, she has spoken about home as a spiritual and emotional space, a place where success does not need to perform. When filming requires extended stays abroad, particularly in the United States, Letitia typically rents or temporarily resides near production hubs, rather than investing in high-profile American mansions. This is common among international actors who prioritize flexibility over permanent relocation, and it further reinforces her preference for mobility, not accumulation. Same quietness extends to her cars. Letitia Wright's approach to cars is quietly countercultural. She chooses cars the way she chooses roles, with intention, restraint, and purpose. Unlike many Hollywood stars, Letitia Wright is not publicly associated with a large or rotating luxury fleet. There are no verified reports of exotic supercars, hypercars, or custom-built vehicles. The few credible lifestyle profiles that reference her driving habits point instead to a single, practical luxury vehicle: the Lexus RZ450e, a fully electric SUV designed more for balance than bravado. The Lexus RZ450e is a telling choice. As Lexus's first dedicated all-electric SUV, it represents sustainability, quiet performance, and understated luxury. In the UK and US markets, the RZ450e typically starts between $55,000 and $60,000, with higher trims and optional features pushing the price closer to $65,000 to $70,000. This places it firmly in the premium range, comfortable, refined, and capable, without crossing into excess. It is not a car designed to turn heads at traffic lights. It is designed to move smoothly through life. This choice aligns closely with Letitia Wright's publicly stated philosophy about wealth. Rather than symbolic horsepower, the RZ450e offers silence, privacy, and security, qualities that matter deeply to an actor who values anonymity and peace. The electric drivetrain means no engine noise, allowing her to move through London streets without spectacle. The interior emphasizes calm design over aggressive styling, a mobile extension of the sanctuary she creates in her personal life. Beyond this vehicle, there are no verified details linking Letitia Wright to additional personal cars. When filming abroad, particularly in the United States, industry practice suggests she relies on production vehicles or temporary arrangements rather than maintaining permanent collections across countries. There is no evidence of ownership of high-end American SUVs, sports cars, or multi-million-dollar collections. Where many celebrities use cars to perform success, Letitia Wright uses hers to preserve normalcy, to drive without being announced, to arrive without display, to leave without spectacle. To know Letitia Wright beyond the screen, you have to listen to what she doesn't shout. In an industry built on noise, Letitia Wright has always moved with a kind of stillness. Fame found her quickly, but it never became her compass. Long before red carpets and global recognition, her personal life was already being shaped by reflection, faith, and a deep understanding of who she wanted to be, especially when no one was watching. One of the most defining aspects of Letitia Wright's personal life is her faith. She has been open about the role Christianity plays in her decision-making and emotional well-being. During a particularly difficult period early in her career, she stepped away from acting after struggling with depression and burnout, and it was during that pause that she found clarity and purpose through faith. She has since described this chapter as life-saving, not because it removed hardship, but because it gave her a framework to navigate it. Mental health has been another area where Letitia chose honesty over polish. She has spoken openly about experiencing depression at a young age, especially while facing the pressure of public expectations before she felt emotionally prepared for them. Rather than hiding that truth, she has used her platform to remind others, especially young Black creatives, that success does not exempt anyone from pain, and that slowing down is not the same as giving up. Her approach to relationships reflects the same quiet intentionality. Letitia Wright keeps her romantic life largely private, rarely addressing speculation or rumors. She has said more than once that she protects her personal relationships fiercely, believing that the most meaningful connections thrive away from audiences. In a culture that often demands constant access, she has chosen selectiveness, not secrecy. Friendships, however, she speaks about warmly. Colleagues frequently describe her as thoughtful, introspective, and deeply supportive. She gravitates toward people who value substance and growth, not attention. This preference shapes not only who she spends time with, but how she spends it. Her idea of fulfillment does not revolve around nightlife or luxury display, but around rest, reflection, prayer, writing, learning, and time spent with trusted people. Letitia Wright's story reminds us that greatness doesn't always arrive loudly. Sometimes it enters quietly, shaped by faith, reflection, and the courage to stay true in a world that constantly asks you to perform. If this story inspired you, take a moment to like this video and share it with someone who needs to hear it. And if you enjoy thoughtful storytelling about lives that move differently, subscribe for more stories like this. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.